Okay, so the thing about the deer is like, so you have a devil fruit ability, right? So if you eat a devil fruit, you'll get like a special power. The deer ate the human fruit, so the reason why he's able to talk and be a doctor is because his power is to be a normal human.
Hey, so I just hit 200,000 subscribers, and normal people would usually take this time to be happy, celebrate even, but not me, because I have a problem. I'm coming at you with a problem that's been bothering me for a very long time, and I hope that you have the testicular maturity to hear me out and help me. Every so often, I go out on the street and I try and preach and indoctrinate people into the good word of One Piece, you know, to boost up ratings. Because, you know, if there's something that I know that I'm good at, is kissing the One Piece ass. It's been gaining popularity even without my help, though. And next year we have a new movie coming out. And if you've been part of the One Piece fandom long enough, you'll know that whenever there's a new movie coming out, we get a shit ton of bandwagoners coming in. Now, when I talk to girls about getting into One Piece, they usually, the reasoning behind them not getting into it is because something to do with the art, or because they say that, is there any romance? And I'm like, shit, well, there's actually a statement in which Oda says that there's not going to be any he's not going to do any romantic stuff, because this is a shonen manga. Its demographic is boys. So this video is done with the intention of tricking people into thinking that there is a shit ton of romance in One Piece. If you know better, don't tell people. Just go with the flow, okay? Just go with the fucking flow. When people say there's no romance in One Piece, they just make me laugh. What are you talking about? Of course there are some romantic aspects to One Piece. You just need to know how to look for them, that's all. I'm not even going to mention the whole thing with my man Sabo, because we already know what he's going home to at night. Every single night. We know what's going on, you know. I mean, he has an animal fetish, so hopefully that works out for him, but the pairing is technically canon at this point. I'm going to go over the Straw Hats, starting with the ones that I think are less likely to be involved in any type of romantic relationship. And those are Brook and Chopper. Brook is the oldest member of the crew. He is, in fact, a dead skeleton, and as I had to find out the hard way, looking for dead people to bone will automatically get you banned from eHarmony. Brook doesn't seem to mind his solitude, though, which is exactly the same topic that I'm trying to work with my psychiatrist on. And he has Laboon, so that works out for him. Chopper, I think Chopper is going to need to get his shit together before he can be in a relationship. He can probably get a mink girl by the end of Zou. The problem with Chopper is that he has a very deep and dark secret. And that's the fact that he is an alcoholic. As depicted in this screenshot from the latest One Piece opening. I mean, look at that. You can just tell that Chopper just has no self-control whatsoever. I know the anime makes the joke about Zoro being the one who just loves to drink booze. But the reason they do that is because Zoro acts as a distraction for Chopper's issues, for Chopper's pain. So instead of having Chopper face his own issues and have his own character arc in which he kind of like releases himself from the influence of alcohol, it's easier if you just, you know, focus the issue on somebody else. Next up is Sanji, who apparently is still a character in this show. If that were me, I would have already quit. But anyway, I think him and Violet work well. I think Violet was the first female to reciprocate some of Sanji's feelings in a way. Didn't they agree that they were going to meet, like, at the dock or something? I remember Sanji saying, like, oh, I'll go back, you know, we can meet again or something like that. That hasn't happened. If you want to know what happens with Sanji, just read the manga. I'm sure you'll find out. Kaya and Usopp. I don't even think I need to make an argument for that. I think it's all very self-explanatory. Kaya is like the one person who is waiting for Usopp to return. She is a medical student. She might be a doctor already, I don't know. which kind of means that by the end of the journey, Usopp is going to be royally fucked up. She's going to cure all his wounds. Now, actually, going back to the fight between Usopp and Luffy, I don't know why people don't fucking realize this. Like, it's so obvious. That fight, like the thing that broke the camel's back for that fight to happen, it wasn't really about a fucking ship. Are you kidding me? I mean, it kind of was, because he did make the argument. Usopp said, well, I don't want you guys to abandon me like you're abandoning the Mary. But the thing is not, he's not just fighting for Mary. Like, Mary was a gift from Kaya, you know? He's fighting because there's a sense of affection that he has towards this ship. The ship has sentimental value because it was given to him by Kaya. It's like, I don't know why he didn't fucking say that. It's like, it was so fucking obvious.
Fuck everything, Luffy. Just fuck it. For Kaya!
I know a lot of people want Zoro to end up with Robin, but Zoro is 21, and Robin is currently 30. What does that tell you? Zoro and Tashigi to me make perfect sense because one's a badass and the other one thinks that she's a badass, but she just can't shut her mouth. They were together in Punk Hazard. I think at one point Tashigi even blushed when she realized that Zoro was carrying her around. They both have similar interests. They like swords, swordsmanship. I think they complement each other well. If they get together, it would be kind of like a good, like, sort of like a symbol of truce and peace between the pirate and the marine. They argue way too much with each other, which I think is due to the unexplored sexual tension between the two of them. This next couple is, well, my thoughts about this couple is probably going to piss a lot of people off. I know it. But here's the thing, okay? Unlike some other fans from another show that will remain unnamed, I can actually sit here and say, even though I don't like this couple, it's not my cup of tea, I can actually say it's probably going to happen. Franky and Robin. Yo, you have no idea how much I fucking hate this couple. And a lot of people seem to like it, and I understand why people would like it, but to me it's just like, oh, it just kind of gives me like a stomach ache. It's like, and the reasoning for this is going to sound like a very douchey explanation, but I feel like, this is going to sound horrible, but I think Robin can do so much better. Like, Law and Robin, holy shit, that would be amazing. But, you know, Franky and Robin, it's kind of like, oh yeah, the hot girl ended up with like the jacked up douche. And I know a lot of people like Franky as a character, but he is kind, you have to admit, he is kind of a douche.
Like, I just think there's a reason for why Franky is usually like near the bottom when it comes to Straw Hat popularity polls. In the last poll, he only beat Brook. But Brook, we haven't seen him in a while. Like, there's been no development for Brook whatsoever. And we got Franky throughout the entire Dressrosa arc. So, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like after what he did to Usopp and Water 7, like, he was never really held accountable for it. I know, like, Luffy destroyed his house or whatever, but he wasn't really there. And then it was kind of like, yeah, we need you, so join our crew. And, you know, just whatever. Just fuck it.
At the same time, though, I do acknowledge, like, all these little hints that Oda has been placing, like, throughout the manga. Like, they're usually always together. They're pretty close in age. Franky is 36. Robin is 30. So, yeah, he played a very important role in Robin's rescue. Like, he even actually stood in front of her to, like, take those bullets to stop them from hitting her. In a recent chapter, Oda even had both of them like wearing matching outfits. Franky's even the one who tells Robin that she should stop thinking about herself as a crime, as somebody who's not worthy of existing. He actually says, well, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of knowledge you have, like, existing by itself is not a crime. So there you go. There's a lot of evidence that points to that. I may not like it, but that's what I see. I'm gonna go throw up now. This last one, aside from the Usopp one, I think is the most fucking obvious one of them all. You know, it may not happen right away because Luffy is kind of like asexual at the moment, but it'll happen.
There's just been a lot of little hints sprinkled throughout the story. A lot of them go back to the beginning. If you've seen the first anime episode, you see that like Luffy actually sees Nami. They lock eyes with each other even before he meets Zoro, and it's a very like intense gaze. It's like a little moment there. But then my question is like, why would you even have that moment there? Why did they use Nami in the very first anime episode
if she wasn't going to be relevant.
To Nami as he goes and fights Arlong. I know the opposite camp is like Luffy and Boa, but you have to remember, like, at the beginning of the time skip, Luffy straight up tells Hancock, like, I'm not marrying you. Also, have you seen Strong World? Because Strong World to me is like Arlong Park 2.0, essentially. It's Luffy getting pissed and going to rescue Nami. That's the same concept. It's just that, oh, and Luffy gets super pissed when, like, Nami leaves the message of, like, I'm leaving, see you later. And then by the end of the film, you actually realize that she left a message, and she says, I actually left that message for you, Luffy, for you to hear. And Sanji describes the message as, like, wow, it kind of sounded like a love letter. And when Luffy wants to hear the message, like, Nami starts freaking out. She's like, shit, no, don't listen to this. Just don't listen to this. Because she's embarrassed, right? And then by the end, we hear the message play. Also, and these are kind of like more bullshit reasons, but Luffy is constantly compared to Roger. They're kind of like parallels to each other, just like Rayleigh, or Zoro is a parallel to Rayleigh. If you look at Roger's wife, Rogue, you can kind of see that she kind of looks like Nami in a way. It's a bullshit reason, but whatever. We also had that hug, that warm embrace that Nami gave Luffy when they entered Zou. Now, why, if Nami had the option to hug anybody in the crew, why did she run to Luffy? Finally, I think Oda met his wife at a play, and, you know, his wife was an actress and she was playing Nami, and they got married. So it's like life imitating art. I wanted to get this video down for two reasons. For, like, once the series ends or reaches its, like, final arc or whatever, I want to go back to this video and be like, ha! I got it on the books. I got a record. So when people tell me that One Piece doesn't have any romance, oh, my throat hurts like a bitch. I spent too much time talking about this shit. It's not healthy. Hey guys, I just wanted to take this time to let you know how much I appreciate your subscription. We're now at 200,000, which is great. It's like something that I never really thought I would achieve ever. So thank you so much for that. Leave your comments. You can, you know, sort of address this topic as a joke, or you can take it seriously. That's up to you. I leave it up to you. Like the video if you did. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys later.